So normally a device which is not connected to thing is not an IoT. So normally a device is there, for example a camera, which is working, it has a hardware setup, you are getting data, but which is not connected to internet. So it's not IoT. It's a device, like you can say it is an embedded device. So normally, before going into the IoT, so what's the problems which are facing in our daily life? So most of the problems like polluted air, clean water, and non-renewable energy and non-waste of electricity. So the thing which a part of IoT is monitoring and getting data and you are controlling it. So first thing is to monitor the data. So before monitoring the data, what are the problems we have? In that point of view, how to make the devices and work it on IoT. So actually, so electronics. So basically, the main difference between electronics and electrics is AC and DC. Simple. AC, it works on 220 volt. Normally in this room also it works on 220 volt. So in electronics, it works on DC, direct current. So most of the Internet of Things worked on electronics. So most of the embedded works on electronics. So by using this, these are the appliances of electronics, not IoT. Okay. In these areas we can cover using IoT. So there is in vehicles, smart cities, surveillance and mission-to-mission learning. So everything we can monitor using it. Next slide. Next. So what is IoT? So it consists of 4 parts. Sensor, sensing devices from nature. And second thing is data analytics. The data which you got from data, sensors, it's got data. And after getting data, you have to calibrate it and you have to control the appliances. And fourth is connectivity. So I'll talk about a single thing, sensors. So for example, this room has certain temperature using AC. So how can you know the data temperature is there? So you're using, for example, you can use temperature sensor. So what we can get it? 2 parameters we can get. Depends on sensor. So we can get temperature and humidity. So, and can you explain what the difference between temperature and humidity? Anyone? Anyone? It's an easy thing. You can, if it is okay, you can speak in Telugu. Okay, I'll explain. Simple. What you said is correct, but the framing of gram is like, for example, humidity is the water level present in the air, and temperature the heat levels of the water in air present in air. So this is the difference which you can get in the temperature and humidity. So we are getting the 2 temperatures. Okay, after getting data, what we have to do? Have to analyze the data. So what from sensors, what you are getting is right or wrong, we don't know. So normally when we calibrate the things using reference sensor like original sensor, so while we're working on various sensors, so various location parameters, so the various values. So here the part comes out data analytics, and next is automation control. So by using the temperature, what we can do? Anyone? Using temperature, what we can do? Control or anything? Anyone? Using temperature, what we can do? Using appliances. Anyone? It's okay, you can say, don't hesitate to say. Whatever you can say, it's okay. Okay. What you can control? You can monitorize it. You can see the data by using data. You can say that it is hot or cold. But you have to control. What you can control? Next. Exactly. So you can control appliances. Not only appliances, you can control your pollution of it. For example, if it is a closed environment, air quality is less than 50. For example, there is an AQI index called air quality index, which we measure in air quality temperature sensors. So by using the temperature, it can vary the pollution in the air. So by using temperature, you can monitor it. For example, a window can open, a fan can on, a AC can be on. You can set that AC on using IoT devices. So next is connectivity. So this is the network part. I think you all studied these networks in your computer science. So you got the data. How you are sending to the cloud using various network and various protocols. For example, I am using Wi-Fi. Using protocol is HTTP. So you're using IP-based protocol using Wi-Fi and you're sending the data to cloud. Okay, next. So these are the applications which you can apply in daily life. So you can apply in your smart home automation. For example, you can control these appliances using temperature or various parameter IoT devices, health devices. Like for example, this is the watch. So normally there is an Apple Watch which we can monitor our health, even your blood pressure, even oxygen in your blood, it can measure. It's an IoT device. So basically, there is no particular thing, it is IoT. IoT is consist of all hardware and software. So where you apply getting the data and posting the internet is the main theme of IoT. And how you visualize is the second part. You can use ML or AI using the data and you can make algorithms and you can set the device like calibration thing as whole happened. So the IoT is the thing where you get the data and monitor and control. And you can use in smart appliances, agriculture. And you can use this, I think you all know this Tesla, they're making an automated cars. So how it works? Basically, I'll say about a brief thing. It consists of various angles, has various cameras. So how you're getting your camera footage from the cars. What you'll do? Anyone? How it's happening? How the working is happening in Tesla? Any? They fix the cameras around the car to make in line. How they are working? You'll get the data. How they are working? Yeah, exactly. So what happens is you'll get the data. So after getting it, you need to calibrate the data. Simple thing. So for example, you have a side mirror. It has a camera. So what it predicts? The angle between 120 degrees of the camera, it will predict the camera and using it will make a 3D image. And that side, if anything happens, it will show in a 3D replicated image. Basically, we will call it as a digital twin. Okay. Next slide. Okay. Anatomy of IoT. So I'll explain the IoT in a structure of body. If you have, okay, from where we got this, from nature to device, where we need sensors. Sensors are like sense organs, which we get data. For example, you are seeing, it's a data from for your body. Next is embedded systems. So normally we will call it as a node, which consists of sensors and controllers. So a node consists of an controller and sensor, which will get the data using various protocols. It will send to the cloud. And I said the display board. So we're getting data not only displaying cloud. We are using LED displays, OLEDs. Like you need to display the what you are getting. Okay, for example, there is a node. What it is, it's a robo. We'll call it as a robo. So what we did is it is developed in our lab. So this is called ultrasonic sensor, which has two lines. This is ultrasonic sensor. What it does is it will detect the distance between object, how far it is. So while using data, we can display in it our OLEDs or screens which we are using. We can display it into our monitor also. So it is called eyes, which we can show. And the connectors. So where the mechanical part comes in connectors. For example, there is simple mechanism working, we are working 1 and 0. Simple. The triggering whole IoT or not, whole industry is working on 1 and 0, whole thing. So these are the mechanisms we can use. I'll give an example. We are working on a project called water quality. water quality. We get the water quality from the RO tanks, which we will drink. So there is a problem called the sensors which will dip in the water. After a certain time, it will get rusted. Because of the rusting thing, because of the sensors are plastic. So because of that thing, the water quality is getting variation is coming. What we have to do? So where we had done a research called non-invasive mechanism. For example, what we are doing, we are directly dipping in the water, the sensors in water. So what we did is, we make a mechanism, we taken two DC motors, one is for pumping, one is for exhaling. So I'll say, like there is a container which we have done. So from RO tank, the water will get it, and the container will get we dip the sensors. So it will happen every 4 hours. We'll get the water, it will take the readings. After that we need to exhaust the water. So there is no variation in water quality, and we are not making bad of the water quality also. Next, attorneys. So power supply is the major thing in IoT. So IoT needs of most major things. One is Wi-Fi or internet connect network. Second thing is power. Here where the triple parts and more the power electronics comes, and nervous system, antennas. So connectivity network. So how you distribute? We have various types of networks. For example, normally we will use Wi-Fi. We had Bluetooth. We had one more network from Silicon Labs. There is called Wi-Sun, which it can communicate more than 4 kilometers without any Wi-Fi. And LoRaWAN, and so many are there. Now we are working on 5G. Next. This is the environment which we are hold. So I'll say how the part will come, block diagram of the IoT, how the universal thing come. So if this is the environment, so for example this is the environment which you are surrounding it. So let us compare Earth as in this room. Okay, this is a sensor. So we'll think I will get it as a temperature sensor. So by using environment, using sensor, we get the data of temperature and where we need to send it. So it's just a digital output of a sensor. So this is a controller where the embedded systems comes. So this is a controller where you get the data by using normally we will call it as an Arduino Nano. So by using controller we can get the digital value, and what we have to do with data. We had cloud and actuator. By using network, as I said that by using network we can send the data to cloud. We can use Bluetooth or anything, any network can be used. You can use various protocols also like HTTP, MQTT, so many are there. After sending cloud, what we have to do? We can represent the data using actuators in the node itself. And getting cloud, how can you do? So using APIs, we can make a dashboards. So all the front end guys who works is the dashboards, they'll make a visual representation of the data. So where we'll get the summary of the values we are getting from temperature. Next. So this is the block diagram which how the IoT works. Ma'am, next. So layers of IoT. There are four layers of IoT majorly. Simple. As I said, this is the node. It consists of various verticals, water, air, energy, all the things. After that, communication layer. As I said, it's not clarity. As I said, there are various communication layers called Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi, LoRa, LTE, 4G and 5G. After that, use various protocols like HTTPS, all these things. And after that, there will be a layer called service layer. So normally what we'll do, you all know about database, how it works. It's just monitor, not CPU, which powers and which has Wi-Fi. That's it. It has certain space. This is a database, hardwarely. So there is a service layer called. So you're directly sending the data to database. So how it organizes? So where the service layer comes. So what we'll use is, in our lab where we'll use called 1M2M platform. What it will do, the main theme of it is we'll send the data in a particular format. It has some standards. So by using this, standards, like for example, there is two nodes called air and water. We'll name in conventional as like AQ and WQ for water quality. So where we will use service layer, they will make an certain functions, like not functions, certain names called AQ, where we are sending to this particular node ID, and we are getting data in this format. We'll usually send in the string format, which will be listed from there. Okay. So there it happens. So you're not visualizing perfectly. This is called interoperability. What it works, same service layer, how it standardizes the work and how it's sending to the data. So normally we won't directly call from database. We'll call from 1M2M. From 1M2M this database, all these nodes are working. And data management. So that 1M2M can do data management also. It will organize the values in database in particular standard. Next, analysis and digital twin. Okay, this is one more service layer which we are working on it. First thing, we are getting data. What we can do? First thing, we are monitoring and representing it. Second thing, so there is an interesting project called digital twin which we are working on it. It's a big project. So normally what we have to do, for example, there is a node in our lab. Not lab, we have deployed any location. For example, we have deployed in an RO tank which is near to lab. We had removed the water got getting into a container which we have set about mechanism. So how we can see that water is there or not? By using data we can't predict. So there is a digital twin which we can represent the 3D model, which we, for example, we remove cap water from it. It has to represent. Next, visualization layer. So there we can use like whole front end part, like we can make different types of dashboard and visualization things. We can make a mobile app to get all various data and we can summarize it. And application layer. So we are applying this whole thing in our campus, like for example, air quality monitoring. There is a one more word called smart spaces. What it will do is like, as I said that using temperature, not we are using temperature, there is a one more parameter called CO2 level of this room. For example, CO2 is more than 1000. It is very dangerous if you are sitting in more than 1000. What it will do, it will turn on the AC and parallelly it will open the window. And crowd monitoring. This project we worked on as post-COVID, I think so. So what we did is like we installed in various cameras. We used an ML algorithm called, and what it will predict is if the distance between the two persons is less than 2 meters, it will horn a buzzer. It has consists of small buzzer. It will make a buzzer. So it will cover up to 10, I think 10 meters around it, using small Raspberry Pi camera which we used. And smart street lights. So I already said about a Wyson. So there is a project called Wyson. Now we are at phase 3. What it is do is, so we had control all our street lights using Wyson in Probability. And water quality and flow monitoring. Not only we are getting water quality, we can also predict how much the water usage of an building. And energy monitoring. This energy monitoring which we had using solar panels, we can get the data of how much energy created per day or per month. We can visually show. I'll show after next slide. Next. So applications of IoT. So where we can apply. So in smart cities, we can apply. It has a more scope in smart cities. If a smart city is there, so mostly the thing which we can use IoT in smart cities, because a city consists of a people. It consists of all the things which we can use. So one of the major thing, as we are living in Hyderabad, one of the major causes traffic management. So as I said that we are working on air quality, we had started an interesting project called Smart Path using air quality something. So normally everyone uses Google Map. What it shows? It will show the less traffic area. So it deployed 50 nodes around whole city. What it will do is, what we are getting values, it will so same it will use the air quality. It can show the less air polluted path. So we are working with Google. I think it's working on. It's not implemented, but we are working it. We can represent that if the path is most pollutant or not. So by using it, we can say that it is a less pollutant path you can use. Next thing is waste management. So normally you know this. Normally how government is segregating the parts. Like we have 2-3 dustbins, which is in like plastic, wet, dry, and electronics like that. So we are working with a segregation thing like smart dustbin, which we are working on it. Like it can segregate the parts. We can't like if you throw the wet, for example, you throw in wet cover, it will make it in plastic plus it has wet. So it will segregate into wet plastic thing. And it can show the how much area occupied in dustbin and water management. So by using this water flow and water quality, we are making a visual representation of water quality, which we can show that, for example, there is an overhead tank and RO tank. So what we'll get, we'll get different TDS. For example, we'll call it as a TDS, total dissolved salts in the water. We'll get the TDS value and temperature. By using it, the both values we can parameter from overhead tank and RO, we can predict the problem. For example, normal value of a TDS in overhead tank should be 300 to 500. And normal value in RO tank which we are drinking, it is as starts to be less than 100. If it has more, it will be it's not good to drink. So what we can do, if the increase of the TDS in RO tank, which we can say that if the RO filter is working or not, or the pipe is got rusted, we can get this various problem statements. And parking management. So in smart spaces we are getting in it like, for example, you are standing in front of a sensor. So it is not a camera, it won't represent a visual thing. So what we can do, for example, using ultrasonic sensor, if you place it at top, so it has to say that if you are sitting or standing using that. Next. So this is the smart city, is our campus IIIT Hyderabad, which were deployed various verticals around the campus, and these are the teams which are working in it. So there is a one platform which we can connect, disconnect, discover and share. So it's like a test bench for smart cities. It's the first smart city in India to develop like this. Next. So this is the thing which we are using, which I said. These are various verticals which are working by sun, water, energy, solar and smart room crowd. So by using various protocols. So for example, smart lights using Bison protocol, and water, Wi-Fi using, and energy is using LoRaWAN. So LoRaWAN and Bison is similar technologies but different. For example, Bison can transmit the data of a higher data rate with less distance, but LoRa has different thing, like it can send them more than, as we tested, we got then on paper results called nearly 10 kilometers range. Without Wi-Fi it can communicate. So we had deployed whole our energy meters which you have seen in homes, like there is an energy meter which will get calculated how much power you are consumed. So we had attached the Wi-Fi LoRa module. Using that we can get the data, like per day you are getting your consumption is this much voltage of power. And there is a 1M2M interesting part called 1M2M. As I said, it has an interoperability, and it has a standard which you are working. So there is one more smart city called UK, which we are inspired from it. Whole UK smart cities are working in this 1M2M standards. After that we can representing, for example, I think you all know Alexa. So we had made an interesting subscription, like you can get the value of your room using Alexa. And there is a called IUDX, so Indian Data Urban Data Exchange. So it is a Bangalore company. It's like government. So what they'll do is they'll get the values of this. I'll say about air only. We're giving various parameters of air. So it will represent, for example, if you search in Google, you will get this air quality in this city. How you are getting? Backside is IUDX. So the projects which are working various from smart cities or various projects, so many people will send the data to IUDX. From the Google you are getting the air quality from this IUDX. And dashboards, we have various dashboards which we can display the values of it. And data warehouse which we can set. Next. So this is the data visualizations. We have different types of dashboards. For example, this is the summary view. For example, this is called how much your usage of flow in our college. Particular node we can say. This is the ppm value of air quality. So ppm is parts per million. So normally we'll calculate the value using ppm. And this is the map view. This is the building view, and this is the map view. And the 3D view, we had different types of visualization boards. Next, ma'am. Previous. Yeah. So by clicking, for example, you had a node here. By clicking that, you get the graph of that. For example, you can change any parameter like this week or which parameter you want, PM 2.5, which node you can say. Next. So smart city challenges. So as you know that if it is working in lab, it won't work in deployment area. It's the best challenge which we have faced. For example, I'll say about water quality. So it made a non-universal mechanism. There is an issue called even gravity is also a challenge for us. For example, we had placed a node on the top of RO tank. So what happens? Our motor is 5 volt. It can pressure up to water which we are aiming. For example, the centimeter of container is 10 centimeters. We want to fill the water until 8. It's needed for to measure the temperature and TDS. It needs certain time, like minimum 2 seconds we want to get the value. But the issue is like, for example, the DC motor, which is the flow is down. So what happens is due to gravity, we are not able to stop the water. It's directly going. So what we did is, we mentioned reverse thing, like we kept the reverse. For example, what we'll do, we'll input the water from top, we'll exert the water from down. But what we did is, we are making reverse. We're inputting the water from down and exhausting from the up. Here also we are getting issue like, for example, you are getting water from top. Some water will be there. So each small water also, it makes an variation in TDS value. And smart sensors. So we are using sensors. As an IoT engineer, we have to make a low-cost device with low power consumption in it. So if you are making anything in a product based, you have to think in a perspective of user. So smart sensors. So what we are doing is, we are buying the cheap sensors and we are calibrating it. Simple logic. For example, we bought 2 sensors. One is costly, one is low cost. We will get the values of costly sensors accurate, and second sensor is low accurate. What we'll do is, we'll use a simple regression, linear regression, where I think you all know Max, we'll use y equal to mx plus c. Simple regression we'll use. We'll get the slope of the value and we'll calibrating the sensor as the wish we want. And networking. So with the networking, we'll ask, for example, in whole campus we doesn't have Wi-Fi. So we're using one more protocol, WISN and LoRa. And security and privacy. We had database which we can show representing the things. But if the data is stolen, what we can do? They can use the data. They can predict is a major issue. For example, they can use your power electron, for example, using this smart spaces, we are controlling the fans. If the hacker is there, what we can sell the data? We can get data of our temperatures and we can control our appliances. It is a major privacy issue in the perspective of an user.